What is up YouTube, it's Kingfisher745, and in this video we're going to take a look back at the Age of Ultron costumes, and we'll see how well they do in the current meta. The only two that are going to be missing from this video is going to be Age of Ultron Hawkeye and Quicksilver, the Interrupters, and in part that was because interrupts seem to be broken, but it may just in fact be Combo Breaker, which I'm not even going to touch. I don't even know what to say about that. The opponents we're facing, I feel sorry for first of all, but at least they have Elsa Bloodstone. As for us, we're using kind of an unorthodox team. Black Widow and Iron Man really aren't the most likely pairing. They'll end up working out fine, but the other teams are going to make more sense, and these two ended up being the leftovers. So as we dismantle this Iron Fist team, I do just want to say I'm working on some really special videos, and they would have been done, but I'm trying to wait for my voice to come back. So as many of you know, I've been sick, and although I feel better, I'm not 100% just yet. But I did some more work on the Breaking the Meta Emma Frost video, mainly editing out Iron Fist, and I've been working on a Poor Man's PvP episode as well. So yeah, you can expect those as soon as I'm back at full strength, and I'm really hoping that next week, I can be completely back, as far as making videos every day. And of course having my voice. It would be nice to be able to breathe clearly again too. I can't believe how much we take that for granted. But anyways, in this first match we drop Elsa, who's basically the only threat, and we'll save Iron Fist for last. I pretty much felt like we could just ignore him. Next, after the enemy fires the Grace Note, we are going to get a counterattack with the Widow's Bite. And then our agent is going to be able to do a few things here. First, we'll use the Light Fantastic. That's going to be a quick action because of the Quick and Powered ISO 8. Next, we can use our free action, the Superior Combat Sensor. We'll use that on Iron Fist since the agent's almost already knocked out. And then if we don't want Iron Fist to heal, we have to knock out the agent before his turn. We'll do that with the Relentless Rapier. So there, the agent's knocked out, and you cannot heal that which has no life. So Iron Fist attacks Iron Man, he almost deals damage, but either way we had Mirror Reality. And on our follow-up attack he's going to get a Combo Breaker, and it actually does interrupt us. So maybe just the Hammer Pistol's broken. I don't know, I'll be honest with you, sometimes it's confusing. What works one time may not work another. Either way though, a few hits from my agent should do it. And so we get a follow-up Rapier attack. Then we'll use the Superior Combat Sensor, and one more final attack. I don't think Iron Fist is going to make it through this. So here goes what should be the end of the match. And only one of our heroes was slightly wounded in that one. So in all, not a difficult match. Honestly, I would pull Iron Fist from your defense if you have him there. For our next team up, we're using maybe one of the best Age of Ultron teams. And that's going to be AOU Thor and Hulk. These guys do a ton of damage, and it's nice to not have your attacks interrupted, plus we get Mighty Shroud to start the fight. As far as the current meta, this is actually a team up that can work on defense, depending on when your Thor goes and who he knocks out. So yeah, turn order may play a role. On offense, they're pretty close to a sure thing. They're definitely worth trying out. I've also seen Hulk get good turn order on defense, and he's dropped someone too, so it does depend on your attack, and you may have to get a little bit lucky. But they are certainly not bad, especially because of Mighty Shroud. As you can see here, we almost knocked out the enemy agent, and so now we're going to use our level 2, which we have the Calamitous AISO on, so it is catastrophic. Apparently though, the agent needs a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and use our Indestructible Titanic Hur, and that's the end of Agent Orange. After that, since Null is being really annoying, we're going to go with our level 9, and that does indeed knock him out. These Age of Ultron costumes are both powerhouses. Hulk is definitely enhanced by his, and then like I said, Thor gets that Mighty Shroud, so he prevents debuffs, so it's worth using as well. And you still get his powerful attacks. As for Kurth, she has all these Avengers coming up next, so she shouldn't get another turn. She is immune to the lunacy, so that was kind of a waste. But next we're going to use the Relentless Rapier. Then on Thor's turn we'll use his level 2. This isn't going to finish her by any means, but I believe Hulk should definitely be able to do that for us. Also in this case we do get a follow-up attack. So she only has 5100 HP left. We'll begin with a Rage Punch. And then we'll just go right for his level 9. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does enough. In all, that was a pretty quick win against a worthy team that's usually somewhat resilient. So yeah, that's why these guys are some of the best teammates when it comes to the Age of Ultron alternate costumes. As for our last pairing in this video, it's going to be Vision and Scarlet Witch. And I thought it was only right to put these two together. To be quite honest with you, they're actually a formidable team. And to begin, we are going to use our Hex Spheres because it is catastrophic for us. And even though it gives their agent an extra turn, we do want to place Hexed on their team. With that gift extra turn, their agent's going to use the Twisted Gift, but he only hits our agent, and he takes a counterattack. So we can live with that. Then right away, Groot's going to take a backfire. So Hexed is already kicking in. In fact, it gets him twice. Do not underestimate that debuff. And that's why if you have the Hexing AISO, you may want to think about equipping it. That is when you're able to. Alright, now with Vision, who's an absolute monster, we end up dropping their agent. So no more extra turns from that tactician. Then with my agent, we're going to use the targeting device on Groot, and we'll follow it up with the Captain's Fist. Okay, well first we do an interrupting Brawl. We take absorb energy damage, and he still hits us. So yeah, that didn't really work out there. He also gets another absorb energy. Then on his turn he does a ton of damage. Plus he has Fatal Blow. So that's the end of our agent. Well, so much for an easy win. But hey, for our Arcane Blast, it is stealthy. And we're going to get a second attack on Groot, easily knocking him into baby form. Then at the beginning of his turn, he actually dies to dots. So we only have Null to deal with. But unfortunately, we can't remove his escutcheon. So we're going to try something kind of dumb, but we did have a reason for it. We switch over to melee, and we should have probably recharged, but we hit him again. It's not going to make a huge difference, but because of his AISO, when we switch, for example when we switch back to Blaster, it's going to grant him 5 stacks of energy charge. So that's kind of what we were going for. In the meantime though, we're going to use Probability Field and we'll see what we can get. Then on Vision's turn, we'll switch back to Blaster. And so we're at 5 stacks of energy charge. Then we'll use Solar Jewel. I'm also going to be honest with you, it's pretty odd, but when we use Scarlet Witch, things get a bit chaotic. It just seems to happen, that's how I play. We'll just be all over the place sometimes. So I blame Wanda. Now at this point in the fight, we're still not out of the woods because we saw the amount of damage he did to our agent. And on Scarlet Witch's turn, it looks like she can do a lot of damage with that level 2. So we're going to let Null have it. Then we'll just use an Optic Beams from Vision, because that's pretty much our best option. He unfortunately does hit us, and we miss the attack. The best news is though, he only recharges, and that means we can finish this with a big Arcane Blast. So hey, we didn't come out completely unscathed, but we came out a winner. And that's what counts. That was also actually our 5th win of the day, so we're going to get a daily roulette spin. And after that, we're going to end the video. So I do want to thank you all for watching. Ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. Then until next time, good luck, and take care.